Hi guys and welcome back. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make this apple crumble cake. Let's begin. To start on the recipe, you'll want to grab yourself a mixing bowl, and into the mixing bowl place your butter and both your granulated white sugar and your brown sugar. Feel free to use light or dark brown, whichever works best for you. You will then want to mix it on a high speed for as long as you possibly can. Around 5 to 7 minutes is normally perfect. It should be lighter and fluffier in colour and consistency, so you may need to make it about 10 minutes. It should look something like this once it's fully done. You can then go ahead and add your eggs one at a time, beating well in between each addition. And don't worry, if once you've added all your eggs your mixture looks a bit curdled, it's okay, there's a lot of moisture being added. You'll then want to go ahead and give the bowl a good scraping down just to incorporate any bits that may not have been fully worked in from earlier on. You'll also want to go ahead and add your flour, passing through a sieve first, remove any lumps that may be in the dry mixture, as flour is prolific for having lumps in it and that won't be good in your final bake. You can then go ahead and mix this in on a low speed to start with, working your way up to around a medium. You don't want to take it too high at this stage. Once the cake batter is almost done, you can go ahead and add in your fresh and dried apple. I use a mixture of both so you get flavour and texture. Just mix these in on a medium-high speed until they are fully incorporated and fairly distributed throughout the cake batter. You will then want to go ahead and give the bowl a good scraping down just to incorporate any bits that may not have been fully worked in from earlier on. You can then go ahead, grab your cake tins which you prepared earlier on and just divide the cake batter between the two. If you wanted to make a 3-layer cake, you could just divide it by 3. The layers will be thinner, but you'll have the same amount of cake technically. Once you've got all your cake batter in, just smooth it off using a cranked or an offset spatula and just spread it out, and then you can place these into the oven and bake them off. All of that information is in the blog post down below. To make the buttercream, grab yourself a large mixing bowl and place in your butter and whisk it all together on a high speed until it's lighter and fluffier in colour and consistency, a little bit like this. You'll then want to give it a good scraping down just to incorporate any bits that may not have been fully worked in at the top or the bottom of the bowl. Add in half of your icing sugar and whisk this in until it's fully incorporated. Give it a good 5 to 7 minutes mixing, then repeat with the remaining half of your icing sugar. Give it a quick mix in between. Into your buttercream, you can then go ahead and add the ground cinnamon and just mix it in until it's fully incorporated. It will go this kind of beigey brown colour, and that's like the perfect colour for autumn. It's quite a warming flavour and colour, so it's a 2-in-1. So once your cakes have been fully baked and they have cooled, you can then level them off so it's easier to work with later on. I've got a cake leveler, but feel free to use a knife and a ruler or something to work it easier. Once you've got both, don't forget to take the parchment paper off the bottom and place onto a cooling rack where you can brush them over with some simple syrup. Here you could really add some cinnamon flavour by infusing some cinnamon into the simple syrup, but again, it's completely optional and you don't have to. So now we can assemble the cake. Grab yourself a plate, stand or board, and onto it, into the middle, place a small amount of buttercream. This is just going to secure the cake in place. Grab your cake and place it on, pressing down just to secure it in place. Then take a good amount of buttercream and place it onto the cake and spread it out until you've got a good coverage. And then instead of adding jam inside of the cake, I like to add some cooked apples. You can add as much or as little spice or flavour into this. This is really up to you. Just get it as level and equal as possible. Then you'll just want to go ahead and place your second layer of cake on top, pressing down to secure it in place. Then you'll want to put the icing on the cake. I'm not doing the crumb coat. This is just a very quick and easy cake to make anytime. Grab your buttercream, place them on top and spread it out, and then work your way onto the side to give the sides a good coating of it first, and then you can just feel free to move it about so you've got as much on there as you need. Then you can give it a good scraping down with a cake scraper. This is just to help smooth it off and level all the icing out a bit more. Again, this is completely optional if you haven't got one. They are pretty cheap to pick up online, but you can do it however you like. I don't smooth the top off, I leave the edges quite rough looking. I then just take a small palette knife and just do a swirl on top, as it's pretty easy to do and it's a simple and effective way of decorating. And it wouldn't quite be an apple crumble cake without adding some crumble, so I made some crumble. I will leave that in the blog post for you to make if you want to make this cake, and just sprinkle it all the way around the edge. Again, this is up to you. But here's what the cake looks like once it's fully baked and cooled and decorated. As you can tell, it's not perfect, but this cake wasn't designed to be perfect, it was just designed to be a cake perfect for autumn, so it's for one of those lazy afternoons or lazy days that you have. So thank you so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more from me, and I'll be back again next week with some more recipes for you, so join me then. But in the meanwhile, don't forget to check out the description, there'll be a link to this recipe, a link to my blog, and links to all of my social media, so don't forget to go and follow me over on there. But that's all for today, I hope you enjoyed, bye guys.